We've got a lot to do today. Find enough food to feed the tribe, spend some time crafting new tools, fending off dangerous threats. Oh, and we can't forget to work on the cave painting that documents our accomplishments. Today, we are taking a look at Paleo from Z-Man Games. Paleo is a cooperative survival game where we're going to play a small tribe of Stone Age settlers who are trying to make it through each day while we record our tale on the wall of our cave. Every day of the game, we're going to divide our environment deck evenly among ourselves, and then each of us is simultaneously going to decide which of our top 3 cards we want to explore today. Perhaps you'll decide that you want to go and hunt for wild game near the river, while I might decide to spend the day at camp thinking up new tools like clothing or a hatchet that we could use. And inevitably, we'll need to confront the threats in our decks to keep our settlements safe, whether they're dangerous animals, harsh weather, or even worse. Because we're going through the entire deck every day, we're familiarizing ourselves with the various resources and threats near our home, but we're probably actually only going to deal with a small portion of them each day. Then maybe we'll go back to camp, craft some tools to help us with the other ones, and remember the others are still waiting for us there tomorrow. Now for the best bit. Paleo contains 10 different missions that you can combine in any combination, with new dangers and different cave wall-worthy goals mixed in every time you play. Each new scenario will bring new objectives, new challenges, and new secret cards that can only be discovered by leaping into the unknown. If we can manage to complete 5 great accomplishments from our missions, we'll complete our cave wall painting and win the game. For a survival crafting game with so much content, Paleo is actually surprisingly straightforward. There are no clunky rules or dense charts with all the stages in a day. The mechanics all flow together beautifully, and everyone plays simultaneously, so your first playthrough will probably only take you 2 hours as you learn the rules, whereas another game in this genre might take you 3 to 4, maybe even 6 hours on that first playthrough.
She took the midnight train, or bus, or boat. Either way, they're all mass transit.
Welcome to Mass Transit, a cooperative game. We're trying to get these 6 little people back home from the big city to the suburbs. And we do that by playing different cards to create paths of mass transit that they can follow along. But we're not just playing the cards to create paths, we're also having to discard them from time to time to move these people along the paths. Every single card you play is an important decision, because if I play this card now and make this path longer, great. It gets me closer to the goal of where I need to be, because I have to play 3 cards at least to get this suburb out here. But every card you also play means it's a card you won't be able to play later on. And if this draw deck runs out and our hands run out of cards and we can't play cards to get people home, we've lost the game, leaving some poor person, wooden person, but still a person nonetheless, stranded somewhere along the route on their way home. This game is so interesting in that, as I said, every decision is important. These walk cards, you have to play a walk card just to get someone from the city out to the first station. There's a very, very limited number of these walk cards in the game. So every time you play these are super precious, because it's also the only way to move someone from one type of station like this bus over to this boat station. So if you have someone on a path and you find out, oh, he needs to get home by boat, but he was on bus, I need to have one of these walk cards to move them over. Otherwise, that person's never getting home. Every decision is important, and I love that in this game. And having to work together and paying attention to what your teammates are doing, so that you are not just going off on your own and creating your own big, long path, because that's not the point. The point is, we're all urban planners working together to get people home. We're a team, and we have to act like it. Those who know me know that I love cooperative games, and Mass Transit is no exception to that rule. I love how we have to work together as a team. I like that the cool solo player mode. I like that as the game progresses, it builds up more and more as it kind of becomes more frantic on whether or not we're going to get done and whether or not we're going to be able to get these people back to their homes at the end of their long work day.
Hey everyone, Glenn here from the Board Game Barrister. It's time we worked on something together, because we are in cahoots.
Welcome to Cahoots. In this cooperative game, we're working together to accomplish these various goals by having these cards match the goals themselves. For example, all cards are higher than 4, or alternating piles are pink. We accomplish this by playing cards from our hand. Now we can play cards matching either color or number. This purple 5 can play on this orange 5 or this pink 5. Or, for example, this pink 2 could play on this pink 5. Now remember, we're not just trying to empty our hand of cards, we're trying to match and get these goals. So for example, I play this pink 7 here. Alternating piles are pink. Great. We just won a goal. It goes in our score pile. Flip the next goal card over, and now our teammate goes. And again, they're playing by color or number. Now the key is communication in this game, because if we don't work together as a team, we're not going to be able to finish this. But we can't be specific. I can't say, I have a green 5, but I could say, hey, I have lots of high cards, 5, 6, 7. Or I might say, hey, on my next turn, I want to play here. That way your teammate knows where you're going to play or what you might be doing. Again, communication is key, and you want to be as efficient as possible, because if you're too vague and you just say high cards when what you meant to say is I'm playing here, you don't help your teammate out, because then they might claim that spot themselves. If you can finish all the goals before you run out of draw cards or before anyone else can't play a card, you win. Otherwise, sadly, you lose. So what I have to love about Cahoots is that on the surface, the game seems super simple. I have to match colors and numbers. How difficult is that? Well, when you play with teammates that you cannot fully communicate with, it becomes really challenging. And if you do manage to win a game, you can always up the challenge by adding more goal cards.
In an escape room, participants solve puzzles using all the things they find in the room with them as clues and tools, with the eventual goal of finding their way out. Today we're taking a look at a game where each thing in the room is represented by a card, and 3 whole escape rooms fit into a single box. Let's play Unlock. Here we are in the tutorial office. You'll find this 10-card intro puzzle in every box of Unlock. Our goal is to walk out this door, but in order to do so, we'll need to find the 4-digit code that unlocks it. On these cards are the items and furniture we find around the room that might help us to discover that code. For instance, against one wall we find there is a locked cabinet, and in the corner we find a metal key. We can see if the key fits by adding these 2 cards' numbers together, and we might just find an open cabinet containing the next clue to our puzzle. Now, most Unlock challenges will have more like 60 cards, so there's definitely more to manage, but the game is great about telling you to discard tools and clues you've already used, so you won't typically have more than a dozen cards or so to consider at any one point in time. The game also uses a free companion app to play you audio messages or show you the results of codes you entered into computers, and it tracks your 60-minute time limit. Because Unlock is a cooperative challenge, you can play with whatever number of people can comfortably fit around the table and see the clues, or even play solo. The greatest part of this series is its authentic escape room structure. So, I really love escape rooms, collecting objects and codes and putting my brain together with my fellow players to solve puzzles, and the cards in Unlock create all the same feelings, but without the need for a physical room. In fact, because a deck of cards is not restrained by architecture, Unlock has expanded its themes far beyond a simple room. The Unlock challenges now include everything from pirate ships and haunted houses to the lands of Wonderland and Oz.
Ah, the good old teenage years, back when we had to worry about puberty, acne, and zombies. You don't remember the zombies? That's okay. Glenn here from Board Game Master to remind you about zombies with this game, Zombie Teenz Evolution. Zombie hordes are overrunning the town, and it's up to us, this plucky group of teenagers, to stop them and find a cure, because of course the adults won't do anything. Now, we do this by moving around the town trying to find these crates. If we can find the crates, and as a team, pass them from player to player back to the high school, and we do all 4, we win the game. However, the zombies are moving around trying to take over buildings, and if they manage to take over all 4, we will lose the game. Now, this game is great because as you play, every time you finish a game, whether you win or lose, you mark off a space on this tracker. When you hit the envelopes, you're going to open up the corresponding envelope, which can have different ways the game changes. It might improve the way your player is. It might change how zombies move. It might make zombies tougher. Lots of different things that change throughout the game. There's 10 of these different evolutions that happen, and that is what makes the game so unique and so fun to play. So I love in this game that, as the name implies, evolution, the game changes as you do. So as you become more experienced, the challenges themselves become harder as well. I also love the fact that you can't just simply win this game by killing all the zombies, because there's no end to the zombies unless you find that cure. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, hit that subscribe button. If you want to talk to us live in the store, check out our virtual barrister. And until next time, keep playing games.